Hey everybody. It's so funny because yesterday I was like, oh, okay, from here on out, I'm just going to make the changes and then go over what the changes are. But then last night I got this email and I can't pronounce this guy's name, but this email, this Angular, weekly Angular thing is probably something you should be doing if you like Angular. It's very useful. And I've learned a lot from this. But, anyways, he said mention that Angular 17.2. So I was like, I wonder what version of Angular I'm on. Let me get that off the screen now. And so the best way to do that is to look in your packages.json and it'll tell you what version. So I'm on 17.1. Alternatively, you can also do like an inspect and you'll see your ng version up there. And that this is the true blue when you're running your local host. There are many times that I've thought that I had upgraded and thought everything worked, and then it wasn't. So I felt like it was important to um, do this live because every single time I do this, it's a new adventure. It's never the same both times. So I definitely wanted to do this live. So the first thing I will do is I will add this command in here. And unlike most of the time, I don't commit. Oh, well, actually, that's not the first thing I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new branch, an update branch. Um, so git checkout dash b. Um, I don't know, update 17 dash 2. I don't think you can put a point in there, but I'm not sure. All right, so now I'm on a new update, and this is a great time because we just finished up camera, and it was time to move on. Okay, so now I'm on my update branch. So first thing I'm going to do, and I never commit these, but I'm going to have to commit this because committing is part of the upgrade process usually. Is create an update command. So ng update, and then run that. And let's see, let's go ahead and this is always an adventure. Just take over the whole screen. npm run ngu. ngu. And what this will end up doing is just telling me what I need to do. So it's telling me that this is what I need to do. I need to run these are the packages, and then this is how I need to do it. And this is not 100% guaranteed to be all you need to do. So just be forewarned. Warned. So I'm just going to add all of these. I'm just going to call it like this one CDK. And honestly, even like when I work full time at a place, I do this all the time, even though in its own little branch, even though let's see, this is CLI. Even though I may not even have any intention of committing the update, just running through the process every couple of weeks is pretty helpful because most companies aren't going to want to update every time there's a minor version update or even a major version update. Um, so going through the process is going to be informative, and at some point they're going to say, okay, can you do it this week? And if you've tried and failed or tried and succeeded on your own, it can be really time saving and stress saving to already know how to do it. And like sometimes you're just waiting on things at work, like, oh, the back end is down or whatever, and that's like a perfect time to play around with this stuff. So I'm going to say npm run cdk, and then see what happens. I believe these are just alphabetical order. Okay, so it's upset because we're not committing, and I can't have these commands until I commit. So git add dot. So basically, before I do an add dot, I will typically look to see. Okay, so the only changes I have are packages.json, and these are the only changes. So it's safe to just add everything, and then git commit dash m begin minor version update. And then try it again. And let's go back to our other view. And this takes a second. I doubt we'll be done in 10 minutes. And this gets the farther behind you get. This is like truly like if you like the Johnny Depp movies. Okay. So this is saying because we have other dependencies that we can't do an update. This is not unusual at all. And so it's saying, let's see. So CDK is what we tried. And then let's see if we can see where. Just where there's a place that, where it tells us what the peer one issues is, dependencies. Oh, material. Okay. So package material. So I believe what this is telling us, and this doesn't make sense. Like it's saying that patch material has a dependency, but I think it's telling me that I need to update material first. So I'm going to do that. Now, English is a weird and complex language, so maybe I'm misreading that, but to me it's telling me that CDK needed to be installed before the material, but I believe what it actually means is that material needs to be updated before the CDK. So anyway, so yeah, this is just like something you have to do, and it's, I don't know, sometimes things take a long time, sometimes they don't. Um, like I said, I kind of anytime many times whenever I have a downtime at work that is just like there's just nothing to do, or you're just blocked in every which way, then this is something that I'll kind of kill time doing, just practicing moving through the updates and upgrades, seeing what kind of problems we have, doing researching. Just makes life tend to be much less stressful. I kind of wish I'd put a 20-minute clock on. So I think when this one gets to the bottom, I'll just reset it and do that and see how long this actually takes in real time. It's so funny because I remember this going faster, but I guess, okay, here we go. So that worked. So at this point, we have to do a commit, but I'll just show you CDK. Let's see, so now I need to add, and actually it always pays to, it's kind of useful to look and see. Okay, so it moved up this CDK and material to 17.2 on here. It updated our lock file, and that way you could look through here and see like everything that changed, which isn't much. Okay, I'm gonna stop and reset. Start again, which wasn't much. So, but this is actually a very useful thing to do, is look back and see. So it updated the CDK, even though I just told it to do the mat. But now we need to commit that. We need to add it. So This just adds everything. Oops, need the quote. So this updates the material and CDK to 17.2. Oops. 0.2. All right. Now we'll go and try to run that command. So we did update this. I think the CDK is already updated. But it's acting like it's doing something now. So the CLI version is outdated. Oh, so it looks like it's updating our CLI. Oh, okay. So now it's telling us that it's already up to date, and we're not seeing any changes. All right. So we've done the mat and the CDK. So I guess we should try the CLI next. I've heard, like, it's so weird. The CLI is so funny. Some places that you go, they call it a CLI for command line interface. But then in some places, they call it the CLI. And anybody who works in a place that has called it the CLI has never heard it referred to as a CLI. And anybody who works at a place where they call a CLI has never heard of it being called a CLI. And it's just this the bubbling, the information bubbling between groups is just mind-boggling. How, like, I mean, they all act like both sides just kind of act like you just made that up because they just can't even imagine how somebody could call it the CLI or how somebody else could call it the CLI. So fascinating. But yeah, now during upgrades, there's a lot of time to think about things philosophically. Um, just because there's a lot of waiting for things to happen. And you have to kind of stay very calm and thoughtful because, a lot of times you go through all this stuff and at the end it just doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work, if you go into a panic mode, you're probably in big trouble. Um, because whatever the problem is, it's probably very simple, but the error message is going to sound terrifying. But this is installing. So far it looks good. When this is done, so after this we'll probably have to commit again, and then we'll have to do one more update, and then we'll need to delete the modules. Okay, so that worked. Let's see what we got. See what it did. What did you do? So in our package, in the dev dependencies, just things changed in the dev dependencies, but okay, and we don't have a CLI up here, so it changed. It changed our build-angular dev dependency too. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so this time I'm just gonna skip the waiting for it to fail. Let's see. 2.2. There we go. And we have one left, and that is our core. And I don't know what happens if you just kind of go halfway through this process and just stop, like if we didn't update the core or whatever. Changed a bunch of stuff. Our animations changed. I guess all those things do fall under core, common, compiler, all that stuff. Now, I don't know. I don't. This is taking forever, so it seems like it must be updating our modules right now. Um, and I don't know. Like normally, right after this is all done, I'll do another commit, and then I'll delete our modules, and then I'll do an npm install, and then I'll run it again, and I'll just ensure that everything compiles, and then right click and see if that works in the see if the version's correct in the source. And once all that's done, then I'll go ahead and delete the commands that we added. These commands that were added. I'll delete all those, and then it'll be ready to be merged back in. So that worked. Okay, so let's see what we got, what our changes were. Oh, our change, we already saw our changes. Okay, and this was the core. Oh, I added material on that other commit name, git add. All right, now we'll go ahead and delete the node modules. And this takes a lot longer than you would expect it to take. Well, this time it didn't. And then npm install. Some places, if they have like a lot of spyware on your computer, like deleting node modules folder can take an hour. Because like they're very worried that of mass deletions, so they do a lot of analysis on every file before it gets deleted. And it can just take forever to delete node modules. All right, so now npm start. This is like the big, let's say no. Let's go back over here and kill this one. You really do want to start from scratch. Now, back in the day, you would also want to do an npm run build. Because sometimes it would start but not build. But I have not seen that problem in several years. All right, so let's do a view source. And we are on 17.2. Just do a quick. Everything seems good. Let's see, edit. Make it 15. Make it 1. Yeah, everything seems fine. So it took about almost 20 minutes to do the upgrade, but now we are on 17.23. The pirate, I was going to say earlier, if you like the Pirates of the Caribbean, they say the pirate's code is if you fall behind, you get left behind, and there is no place that is truer than in JavaScript, and even more so in Angular. Staying up to date is super duper important, and it's just one of those things that you have to do. It's no fun, but you can learn a lot. Anyways, happy coding. Bye.